Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are well and safe at home. So, here I am with my lecture number 26 of Commercial Studies, class ninth. Students, in this video, I shall be starting a very new and a very fresh chapter, that is chapter number 8, Cooperative Society. Just already I have completed from chapter number 1 to 7, and those who haven't seen those videos yet, kindly first see that. And if you faces any problem in understanding in any of the topic, please mention in the comment section. So let's proceed to this chapter. The first topic is, of course, the meaning of cooperative society. Before going further into this chapter, first understand the meaning of the chapter name, that is cooperative society. So, a cooperative society is a form of organization wherein persons associate together voluntarily and on equal basis to further their common interest. So, cooperative, the word itself says to cooperate. So, cooperative society is a type of organization. It's type of organization where person who are willing to participate, to become the member of cooperative society, come together voluntarily. There is no force, there is no compulsion. Such persons associate together, combine together voluntarily, depends on the will, just on equal basis to further their common interest. And what is the purpose of forming a cooperative society? Because some members have the common purpose, and to fulfill that common purpose they form the cooperative society. Just for example, if you take you want to help the orphan children. Suppose you want to help the orphan children. Orphan means those who don't have parents, the children those who don't have parents. So some members are there who have the common purpose to help the orphans. Now what they will do, they will form a cooperative society. They will form a cooperative society comprising of some members, say for 5 members, sorry, 10 members, comprising of 10 members. And just all the 10 members have the common purpose. And what is the common purpose? Of course, to help the orphans. So, cooperative society is a type of organization where persons together voluntarily contribute, thus voluntarily associate together to fulfill their common interest or common purpose. Thus, it is based on the principles of self-help and mutual help. Self-help and mutual help, and its primary motive is to render service to the members. So, the primary motive of forming a cooperative society is to provide service to its members. They may or may not earn profit. It's not compulsory that they only do service. Sometimes they also earn profits, but it is totally dependent on the scenario or the purpose for which it is formed. So, basically, the cooperative society is a type of organization wherein persons associate, means combine together, form an organization voluntarily. This word should be is very important and should be added in the definition. Voluntarily, there is no compulsion, there is no force, just on equal basis to further the and to fulfill their common purpose for which cooperative society is formed. And this organization works on the principles of self-help. Self-help means the people tries to create opportunities for themselves only. They do not take the help of just others. And mutual help means helping each other, helping just each other, and their primary motive is to render service to the members. So I hope so that the definition is clear to you. Next is features of cooperative society. Now the very first feature is voluntary association. I have told you that this word is very important. A cooperative society is a voluntary association of persons desirous of improving their economic status. Everyone having the common interest is free to join the society. those who have the common purpose, those who want to work for the welfare of the humans, they can come together, they can form the cooperative organization. So that is completely a voluntary, there is no compulsion, there is no force behind it. So hence it is a voluntary association. Person desirous of improving their economic status, and everyone who have the common purpose can also is free to join the society. There is no compulsion, there is no force behind it. So the second one is religious and political neutrality. Now, in forming the cooperative society, there is no kind of discrimination allowed here. The membership of cooperative society is open to all, this irrespective of caste, creed, religion, or political affiliation. Thus, it represents brotherhood. So this is the best example of um, not doing a discrimination. The membership, the any member can join the cooperative society without any discrimination of caste, creed, religion, or political interference. So it is biased free, just it is biased free, there is no discrimination in the membership, just in joining the cooperative society. Thus there neutrality means neutral, balanced, religious and political balance is there, means there is no discrimination among the different caste, creed, religion, or political interference. So I hope so you must have got this point. Third point is separate legal entity. You have just I have explained this term many times. um, uh, from chapter number 5 we have discussed, in chapter number 6 also, in chapter number 7 also. So I hope so that this term is very much clear in your mind. Separate legal entity, once again I'm going to repeat this term. What is separate legal entity? Under this term, the owner and his firm and his company, just his cooperative organization are two different terms. Suppose a member has formed one organization, a member X has formed an organization. So if you can say that that X has formed the organization, means X will be held liable for all the loss. No, that is not the case. Though X has formed this company, but here is a separate legal entity concept, means X and his organizations are two different things, and X cannot be held liable for any of the loss suffered. He will not repay the loss. So a cooperative society after registration, a cooperative society means before registration X will be held liable, but after registration of cooperative society, just it becomes a distinct body independent of its members. So there comes separate legal entity, means the firm and the owner are two different terms, and it can own property. the x can own the X can own property also, make contracts in its own name also. So he can do whatever he wants. He's not dependent that he's a member of the firm, and so now he is not able to make any contracts or own property. He is completely free to do so, because because the owner and the company are regarded as a separate entities. So I hope so you have got this term. Now fourth is one man one vote. So in a cooperative society, every member has one vote irrespective of the number of shares held by him, and just all the members have equal say in the management. So in a cooperative organization, everyone has equal share. Just in the voting process also, one man equals to one vote. Just it is not dependent on the number of shares held by you. You have the Suppose if you are the member of the cooperative society, you will have one vote. So one man equals to one vote. So there is a no partiality, there is equality in the voting process. And fifth one is service motive. Of course, the primary objective of the cooperative society for which it is formed is to provide the service to the people, provide service to all its members, and its motto is each for all and all for each. Providing the services to the people, helping them, satisfying their needs and preferences is the motto of cooperative society members. So I hope so you must have got all the features of cooperative society. Now there is a difference between company and a cooperative. We have discussed that what is company. In this company we are talking about both private company also, and we are talking about public company also. So company in general we are talking about public. So here we are going to talk about the difference between a company and a cooperative society. Now first basis of difference is formation. Company is formed under Companies Act 2013. Remember the act name. While cooperative society is formed under the Cooperative Society Act 1912. So remember the year also. Now second one is number of members in a company. Just I have not mentioned, this is a private company. This is a private company, and this is a public company. So in a private company, minimum is 2. We already know that minimum is 2 and max is 200. In a public company, minimum is 7 and max is unlimited. And if you talk about cooperative society, minimum is 10 members and max there is no limit. There is no limit on the number of members. It can be any number of members. Now what is the objective? Objective in a company, in forming a company, is of course to earn the profits. But in a cooperative society, to provide the services, providing service to the members. Now what is the voting rights? Just in a company, one share equals to one vote, means there is no equality. You will have um, more votes if you possess more number of shares. So one share equals to one vote, and if you possess many shares, you will have many votes. So there is no equality, but in cooperative society, one man equals to one vote, one member equals to one vote. So here lies the equality in the voting process. Now management is done by, in a company, by board of directors. They are appointed by all the members. Since a company is a very large company comprising of many members, so all of them cannot participate, and hence we elect whom? Board of directors. We elect board of directors who will take the decisions on our behalf. While cooperative society is managed by the managing committee. A separate committee is formed comprising of members who take decisions on various matters, and that committee is known as managing committee. So I hope so this difference is clear to you. Let's come to the last topic of this video, that is difference between, again a difference between cooperative society and a partnership. We have discussed the meaning of cooperative society also, we have discussed about partnership also. So a registration. Cooperative society is compulsory to register. After registration only you will be able to enjoy several benefits, and if you will not register the cooperative society, it will not be called as an organization. You will not get the legal prospectus of cooperative society. And if you talk about partnership, it's not compulsory. You may or may not register your partnership, so it's not compulsory. Now number of members in a cooperative is minimum 10 and max we have talked about no limit. In a partnership, minimum is 2 and max is 50. So learn the minimum and the maximum numbers very carefully. Now what is the objective of in cooperative society is to provide service, and partnership is to earn the profits. So of course the partnership business is established to earn the profits only. Now management is done by here, it's done by executive or you can say managing committee also, and partnership is done by partners. And legal status, what is the legal status? Cooperative society has a separate legal entity, means the firm and the owner are, are regarded as different entities, while in partnership there is no separate legal entity. Firm and the partners will be the same, and if the firm is not able to repay the loss, then the partners will be held liable. So that means it has no separate legal entity. So I hope so this difference is clear to you, and all the topics which I have discussed in this video. And if you faces any problem, just mention in the comment section. Till then, be safe at home. Just students keep on revising, and do like and subscribe my channel. Have a nice day.